What's going on, internet? What's going on, internet? So it's For Real Friday. And when it's For Real Friday, I have a real message. And I was just thinking. And when it's real, I come on here very real, very raw, very transparent. And I wanted to let you know, if you have not grabbed a copy of the alignment, make sure you do that. I could have got dressed up and all cute and polished and different things like that. But nah, that's a real message because I was doing something that I don't do quite often. I was washing the dishes. Lately I noticed that I have been washing the dishes, which was one of my chores, of course, growing up, right? But then when we have children, and if you grew up like I grew up, you were to wash those dishes. It really wasn't no dishwasher around. But even now, when a lot of our places come with dishwasher, I don't like dishwash dishes like that because sometimes the dishwasher just don't really get it. So while I'm in there using one of my new gadgets, I was getting ready to, I'm preparing me some breakfast. And breakfast is one of my favorite meals. And I had bought a gadget. One of the dicers that when you put the vegetables in there and it dices and it instantly dices up your vegetables or whatever you're trying to turn into little pieces. And I was just thinking, as a mom, and I know this is a thing as humans, I was thinking from a perspective of humanity, and I was like, I often say that I wish I had a place where I can go for like 6 months, a strong 6 months just to get away, right? And then today I was like, nah, I need like 6 months to a year. And then I was thinking how a lot of us have not had a chance to process the things that we go through in life. Listen, if you have not grabbed your copy of the alignment, grab your copy of the alignment. But I'm like, wow, a lot of us, and I'm keep it moving. Like a lot of us really never get a chance to slow down and sit with ourselves. And one of the dangerous things about alignment, you can't hide in alignment. When you're going through the alignment, getting realigned, all truths are gonna surface. Listen, disclaimer. You're gonna have to be honest, right? So I'm like, wow, I just wish, and I was like, wow, I wish I had a place that I could just process a lot of the things that I've been through. Meaning, this is where self-awareness comes in, right? Like processes, meaning I can just be in this place. I can cry all day long if I want. I can cry all night. I can just be in a place where I can just feel any and every emotion that I want to feel. A safe place, but a place where I can literally process the things that I have experienced through my 38 years of living. And I was like, wow, I wonder how many people wish they had a place that they could just really process. A place where you're not literally worrying about what bill is due, who, just being responsible for this, being responsible for that. And I often reflect back to, wow, we really, when you compare the two hoods, childhood and adulthood, as children, a lot of us many times was wishing that we were adult, never really giving ourselves the opportunity to fully, and honey, I had childhood, but just to really fully embrace where we are in the moment. And a lot of us are in moments where we need to process. We need space and room and time to figure some things out. We need a space. And I'm like, we don't got it. A lot of us don't have it. What am I saying? You know how many of us sit in our cars after we get off of work just to process, to really try to come down from transitioning from work, prepping ourselves to whatever we're about to walk into when we go into our homes. Mind you, some of us don't sit in the car. We just rush on into the next day. And I just wanted to talk about that because we don't really make space, room, time, and allowance to process. And we don't know how to give each other grace, room, time, and space to process, because so many people, things, and places will pull on us. And the reason why I wanted to come on here and talk about this, because it's Women History Month, and I'm just like, wow, how many women have and is making history and will make history in whatever capacity that looks like. But did that woman get a chance to process? Do that woman get a chance to process? How much time is she given the process? How much time? How much time is she given the process? Because I feel like if we're going to go and be advocates for mental health awareness, I had a flyer that I created for a conversation that I was having around COVID. And it was themed around March Madness and the diary, the diary of, let me see if I got it right here. I'll talk about it later. I don't want to say the name. It's probably it's in this phone. Oh, hold on, no. The death of the angry black woman. March Madness being the month to begin to focus on mindset. And just for those who are trying to, wonder where I get For Real Fridays from, I came up with that. Mindset Monday, Silly Tuesday. WCW Wednesdays or Wisdom Wednesdays, Think About It Thursdays, For Real Friday, Self-Care Saturday. That's something that I being pretty much positioned my conversation around. But it's like, when you're living in this human experience, and I know this is just not like a woman thing. It's not just a woman thing, but it's a human thing. A lot of us have dealt with so many losses and so many different things, from joyous occasions to heartbreaking, heart-wrenching occasions. And yet, in our mind, we're like, okay, if I catch a flight or go to where I need to go to be with the family for whatever reason, right, I got to get right back into work. I got to get right back. I got to go right back at it. And it's like, this morning, I'm just in a place where it's like, when will this ever stop? When will it ever stop? When can we ever unplug? Like, when? And even then, asking the when and understanding the when, that is where, and it's like, is this cultural or what? Because it's like, that's where you begin to think of your financial capabilities. But that's what I love about Kingdom, because it's like, okay, if I don't have this financially, then God, I'm expecting you to supply. Because what happens is we end up going down the rabbit hole and still not processing. But I just was giving some thought to just, wow, the need for a space to find relief. That's important. The need for a space to find relief. And a lot of us don't have that space. A lot of us are looking for that space. A lot of us need that space. I don't know why this thing don't want to took. A lot of us need that space. So if relief, look, now I'm tucking it and then my braid growing. Honey, my hair growing. That's all that. My hair growing. Whatever you need in this season, find it. Be true. Truthful. Be honest. Find what you need. Thank God for what you have, but find what you need. And a lot of us just simply need a space where we can begin to process the things that we have going on internally, the things that we have not given ourselves permission to process down throughout the years. Regardless of what emotion, comes through that process, and give yourself permission to do it. A lot of us have robbed ourselves of opportunities to just feel what it is we need to feel. One of the things I learned when I went back to school was how you have to grieve things, grieve losses, whether it's like job type losses, or you actually losing people, or seasons and different things are just changing. There's so many people dealing with different grievances, and a lot of us, we don't know how to process different emotions. So the danger of not being able to process is you bottle the things up, and then it could make you sick, right? Bottling things up, it can make you sick. It can make you self-soothe. It can make you self-soothe. And your choice of self-soothing could be very dangerous. It could cause some people to isolate themselves. Some people decide to do self-harm or harm those that they love. And I believe that this is a very important topic, because if we're going to address mindset, we really have to be aware that not processing can, or not knowing how to process, can lead to mental health issues, and they can be severe. So I just wanted to come on here because behind the cameras, behind the doors, it's real. So I wanted to come on here with a For Real Friday message to encourage you. If you need to process, if you need to find a safe space, if you need to step away from your day-to-day, don't be afraid to say that is what you need. And maybe you can't step away for 6 months or a year, right? But when can you step away? When is the last time you looked at your calendar, your planner, and made it to where you can take a day? You don't have to wait till Saturday to take a day, right? Because Saturday is self-care day, but your day might have to be taken on a Monday. Your day might be taken on a Thursday. I don't know. But find time and create space for you and your thoughts. Get a notebook, get a journal, begin to write. Listen, grab your copy of the alignment. Grab your copy of the alignment. Why? Because peace and clarity is needed on this journey. It's needed. We deal with so many things in the human experience. I couldn't imagine trying to experience this experience without God on my side. I can't imagine it. I don't want to imagine it. But I just wanted to encourage you, especially if you're a mom, if you're a single mom, single or married, honey, widow or divorced. Process what you need to process in your good seasons and in your not so good seasons. Process what you need to process. Okay? So I just wanted to come on here and talk about just the processing of the things that we actually go through. And it's time for us to give ourselves allowance and room to process those things. And that may include shedding tears. A lot of people have been through so much agony, so much pain. They're like, I don't want to cry. But it's good for you. It's a good way to release things that has been bottled up. So I'm definitely going to go through my processing today, honey, on this Friday. So I can exhale and process some things as I prepare for another great weekend, another great week. We just got to make room for that. And also, it is coming down to the end of first quarter, okay? The end of first quarter. This year has grabbed us, by our shirt collars, okay? This year has, hey, you coming or you staying? What you doing? So as we navigate and go through the year, give yourself room to process whatever that look like. Begin to learn and spend time with yourself. When you spend time with yourself, allow yourself to hear what God will be having you to do and or not do, and just be true to that experience. And I believe we're going to come out better on the other side. So if you're going through anything right now internally and nobody around you knows it, because you know how to wear that beautiful smile so well, and you're hiding all of your internals behind that smile, I just want to let you know I love you. I see you. God loves you more. He sees you. He cares. And just give yourself some room and space to process. And don't be afraid to have the conversation, or find a safe space to have it. But your family will understand. You need to open up and just let people, hey, I can't do what I used to do no more. I can't do it the way you thought I was going to do it 10 years ago, 10 days ago, because I don't have time to process. I don't have time to think about some things. And you know what? I just don't want to do that. It does not do me any justice to continue acting like I want to. I don't want to be a prisoner to serving you. I don't mind serving you, but I'm just not going to be able to do it that way anymore, because I'm not going to show up the way that you thought I was going to show up. Why? Because I've sat with me and I know that there's an adjustment, a realignment that has to happen, that is happening, and I want to make you aware. That is how you begin to talk to the people that are in your proximity, in your circle, got a front row seat in your life, so they can begin to understand where you are and what your position now is. So if you are afraid to have these conversations, don't know how to have these conversations, need to work on learning how to have these conversations, then you definitely can book a session with me as your life coach. Feel free to do that, but do understand that you are not alone. The human experience is, as I can see, it's going to be one of those things that we forever gotta process and make the best out of what we have. But in order to do that, you got to be real with where you are. And a lot of people are afraid to be real with where they're at and honest. But once you begin being real, truthful, and honest with yourself, it really puts you in a position of being unstoppable, because when you rise from that place, you rise stronger, more aware, and ready to face what is to come. Okay? Why? Because you face what has already happened and you survived that. So I love y'all. I will catch y'all later. Don't forget to eat the most important meal of the day, breakfast, and peace.